Alrighty then, fungal cleanse update and a couple of little helpful tools that have been really helping quite a lot. So I've got this little zapper or a beauty spot mole remover. It's like a little 5-volt USB chargeable little tool. As you can see, USB chargeable with a few attachments there. And what this does, I got it from Pete's Organics in Waterloo, so 30 bucks, easy. Thanks to Pete. Well done. And of course what we do is basically just turn it on, and general microbiome of fungus in the body is quite often on the liver and spleen meridians. So if you can see, I've got these bigger spots here, and then once they become a little bit more slammed, they start to move into little spots. So there's like little spots, if you can see, just popping up everywhere as my digestive fire and my oxygenation is pumping this stuff out. And it's also coming up from all the way down in the feet. If you can see, there's little spots here all the way up, pretty much everywhere. And that's of course what gout is actually all about. And of course people say, you know, these things are cancer. No, it's just a fungal infection that when it takes over the system, people call it cancer, because fungus is responsible for apathy and distraction. And what I've noticed with, as I've been cleaning out the fungus as much as possible, I'm much more focused and tuning into my own energy, doing what I need to do, and less worried about other people and less arguing on Facebook, put it that way. So as you can see, this one's on 1, the red light there. What I tend to do is pick a spot, say we'll go for this one, and then go around it. So a little electric charge. It's like less than a little pinprick roundabout. So by going around it, what I'm doing is essentially like a little local anesthetic on the nervous system around that particular fungal spot, because it's kind of like a volcano network, and then underneath the magma is moving around between the different spots. And of course this is significantly impacting our nervous system and controlling us to be distracted from what we actually want to do subconsciously, because it's the bodily template. Cool. So then what I'll tend to do, once I've desensitized that area a little bit, I'll put it on to number 2, and then get into the, oh yeah, that one's a good one. And then go around and then work my way in, and then get into the middle of it. And that one's already had a few goes, so it's coming along quite well. And if you can see, it tends to go a little bit white or a little bit yellow, so if you can wipe that off with a baby wipe or something like that, it's a good idea. And so I spend a good hour and a half going around the whole body finding lots of stuff. And to deal with that, once it's like that, I've been putting on a little bit of nascent iodine. Any iodine you've got, ideally in dropper form, is the easiest, because what that does is, well, it's like an anesthetic, but it also has beautiful properties to get rid of heavy metals, because heavy metals are essentially the food for fungus and parasites. So I'll just put a little dob on there, and once that's soaked in a little bit, I'll be putting on some dragon's blood. So this is fantastic from South America and the Amazon jungle, and it's got it's wonderful for clearing up and putting a seal on any open wounds. So highly recommend this if you're traveling to tropical areas, you've got little cuts or anything like that. It is fantastic for just dabbing on, and then it's protected from everything around you. Cool. So I've been doing that for the last week or so, plus a number of other times I've done the zapping treatments. And of course, very, very helpful, 30 bucks, super easy, a couple of little tips and tools which have really been able to show me what the fungus is actually having an effect on my subconscious mind and then in my outside world, because sometimes what I'm noticing as I'm getting rid of all this fungus, other people that I attract may think that I smell, and I'm like, hang on, 5 years of detoxing, no, that's yours, because in their world they've got a bucket load of fungus and parasites controlling their nervous system, and they're disconnected up here, so they won't actually understand that the sense of smell goes all the way from coccyx to nose, depending on what's in the mucous membrane, totally affecting their sense of smell and taste. And what I'm also noticing when I'm just pumping out all these fungal infections, urinary tract infections are coming up my body. You can see it on the tongue and feel it, and showing me how much is actually in the reproductive system. And on occasion, especially if I'm sweating with near-infrared saunas or Bikram yoga, something like that, then I can actually taste the heavy metals that are coming out along with it. Yeah, and because our sense of taste is linked in the nervous system to our reproductive system. And we are constantly reproducing these urinary tract infections that we're not connected to subconsciously on a daily basis. And then, of course, this is the driver for all of human sexuality and human spirituality, and we're reproducing our gunk. And of course, I'm up to 128 meters of parasites and mucus and gunk that's coming out of the reproductive system now. So luckily I'm not reproducing that like everyone else is on a daily basis. So the resulting vitality, masculinity and prowess, and of course longevity and spiritual development and psychic abilities coming through, because that's the vagus nerve connection from basically genitals to right side of the brain along the vagus nerve. Everything inside that is going to have an effect, which also makes neti pot one of the best simple cleansing or spiritual practices on a daily basis. Highly recommended for $20 to get a little pot. Super simple. So, Fungus Network, let's funk it up, shall we? Oh, by the way, I'm loving the peck dancing. Fun, huh? New skill.